But six long decades came and went. We're in a random ass wormhole, okay? 6 decades, huh? Now we are in some more current times where cell phones actually exist. November 29th, 2006, Mount Fuji, Aokigahara, Sea of Trees, 3 o'clock in the morning. The entire area was engulfed by crimson flames. A torrent of sheer energy had emerged from a nearby cave, mowing down trees and setting them ablaze. This place was a crevice in the fabric of space, a meeting point for the ley lines which spread across the earth like a net. A lone man emerged from the cave. He wore a rosary and a cassock, signaling his status as a holy member of the cloth. Indeed, the warm smile playing across his lips was what one would expect from a man of God. Yet, could a man appearing in a place like this in the dead of night, emerging alongside an inferno, truly be a servant of the divine? And kneeling before him in servitude was a young woman with jet black hair. Her skin color and features clearly identified her as a native of this land. She spoke reverently, her face as expressionless as that of a statue. So she's...
Valeria Trifa 狩猟代行。あなたをここへお呼びしたのはこの私の意向です。自己紹介は必要ですか？
Valeria Trifa?
いいえ。レオンハルト、あなたのことは覚えていますよ。キルヒアイゼン教の後を継がれた時はまだほんの子供でしたが、美しく、そして強くなられましたね。
Yo, these names...
恐縮です。
Unpleasant moaning could be heard echoing throughout the area. They were likely the souls of the men and women that had taken their own lives within this forest. The young woman paid them no heed even as they continued to make their presence known. The priest, in contrast, inhaled them all with affection, making them his own. A blasphemous scene, an affront to all that was just. It was identical to the events of Berlin 61 years prior. Was this perhaps a continuation of what had begun that night? A priest with a voice that sang each word, before him a young woman offering nothing but the humblest of words. They exchanged a few greetings, but nothing of note. Trifles such as how the priest had traveled from the other side of the earth by traversing its ley lines, and how the girl had altered his original path in order to lead him here. Apologies and explanations for her impudent action, as well as the reason why the priest could not possibly journey there at the present time. All those were of secondary importance, unnecessary to discuss here. There was but one thing of value.
共に戦の続きを始めましょうか。
That one crucial point, and that alone, that they were preparing to finally unveil to the world the supreme performance they had spent so many moons preparing. Now then, may the curtains of Grand Guignol? Yo, there's these names. Slaughter, butcher, massacre till no more is left. Violate, conquer, and consecrate. Yeah, but I feel like after I'm done with this game, I'm gonna walk away from this game with words that people in real life will never know the meaning of. Let there be victory, let there be conquest, and thus
これを欲したも忠誠こそ我が名誉
They would repeat their struggle as many times as necessary. They would continue fighting to the very limits of time itself. They had sworn to do so, and so they were bound to carry out this task. The young woman's recital of the oath of their holy crusade was met by the priest's own blessings. And so, on that night, in that forest, the legion that had vowed to destroy the world began to stir. Unbeknownst to any, if only time could just stop. It was impossible to determine the single greatest amount of your life until you were looking back on things from your deathbed, of course. But I was sure everyone had wished for something similar at least once. It was only human to wish for fun times to continue, to want to relive a moment of glory. It felt only human to wish to hang on to the here and now. Even should its brilliance eventually fade, that still beat losing it. The known was comforting, the unknown terrifying. Everyone must have experienced this sort of anxiety before, especially students like me. It was hardly unusual to experience this sort of feeling. After all, we were at the part of our lives where we had to start thinking about college, getting a job, and just the future in general. We were in the uneasy transition period between childhood and adulthood, so it felt only natural we'd start obsessing with the mundane. One could call it living in the moment, a kind of escapism that arose when you didn't have both feet on the ground. For better or worse, it was the sort of infection that didn't really do anyone any harm. You could just write it off as another facet of youth. But I didn't want to ever get over this particular strain of measles myself. After all, my life up to this point had been more than comfortable. It might have been a boring, commonplace one, but I was fine with it continuing that way forever. If time flew when you were having fun, then the solution was simply not to have fun in the first place. That's a really dark way of looking at it. It was best to steer away from the unknown and stick to the default path. Who knew what sort of trouble you might encounter on the road less traveled by? I was enamored enough of my current environment to actually entertain more than just entertain. In fact, ridiculous notions like that. To turn one's back on the unknown and seek only the known, you could describe it as playing a game while looking at a walkthrough. That was my Ren Fuji's way of life. Ren Fuji. Okay, well, we finally have a character's name that's not ridiculous. Like, Leonhart felt Smiths or something. Like, everybody's name up to this point has been really ridiculous or semi-ridiculous. Always had been, and hopefully always would be. I figured that I could keep my internal sense of time set on slow if I kept up this line of thinking. Stopping time completely was impossible after all, so you could consider this philosophy of mine to be a kind of compromise, a closest possible realistic approach. I thought that I understood that nothing lasted forever, that something being finite meant that its end could come at any time.
例えば自分の人生を小説だと考えてみろ。
Up until the day where he had to go and say that.
漫画でもゲームでも何でもいいが、とにかく一人称語りで進む長編だ。自分をその主人公だと考えろ。
A story that continues from the cradle to the grave, an epic saga that details each and every event and person that comes into your life from the minute to the monumental. From the minute to the monumental. Think of life as something like that, he
そこ
said.
で質問。今自分が綴ってる小説は実際のとこ面白いのか？主人公としてお前はキャラが立ってるのか？
As far back as I could remember, Shirou had a habit of suddenly going on and on about shit that didn't make sense like this. Most of the time, it was just to try and get a rise out of me.
文法が怪しいとか語彙が
Or you
貧
could
弱
just
だ
say
と
he's
か、
trolling.
そういうスキルのこと言ってんじゃない。ただドラマとして売りになりそうな花なりトゲなり毒なりを持っているか？さらに同じジャンルを囲った中でも抜きん出ている何かがあるか？自分がやらなくても他の誰かがやるような人生なら生き続ける意味はない。こんなところやそんなところで誰でもできるようなジャンルやっててもしゃあないだろ。スレとラベってバカやって女作ったり部活やったり悪くはないけど珍しくもない。そんなの日本中の同年代がリアルタイムで経験してる。俺は別
So
に
what exactly are
数が多いことを
you
バカにしてるわけじゃ
experiencing,
ないぜ。
Shirou?
要はそれだけ選びやすい道だってことを言いたいのさ。選択肢があるように見せかけて実は人生一本道なのかもしれないってな。
In other words, what if we're not choosing but instead being made
少
to
なくともこ
choose?
の国じゃ最大公約数が強いだろ。
This man said
出る杭
has
は
a
打たれ
hard
る。
on.
天才は孤独。はぶられるバカ。いじめかっこ悪い。なんでもいいがよ。まあそれは現実的な解釈で理屈つけた場合の話で。俺はなんていうかな。デジャブるんだよ。これ前にもやったんじゃねえのかなって。楽しくないんだ。新鮮味がない。前にも読んだことある気がするんだ。この話。
My help, huh?
フ
With
ラグ立
what?
てとフラグ折りさ。
Manipulating variables, huh? And what was
言
that
ってもわ
supposed
かん
to...
ねえかもしれねえな。だってお前好きだろそれ。何もかもが基地の範疇。1から10まで同じことを生まれて死ぬまで繰り返したい。そんな変人他に知らんし。そもそも俺の話に出てくるお前はなんかずれてるトリックスターみたいなもんなんだよ。
Could have said the same about him myself. Shirou was the sort of guy who was impossible to read, impossible to get a handle on. He certainly wasn't the type of character who should have been appearing in my story. So why did it sometimes feel like he was a central figure in it? If we were going with the whole novel analogy, Shirou was a misprint. Damn! Yo, he said you shouldn't even be here right now. You were a mistake.
そんなお前をここでどかせば話が変わってくるかもしれない。な顔すんなよ。お前だってわかるだろ。俺らはお互いガキの頃にいろんなもんから弾かれてる。本来なら気楽に学園ドラマやってられるような身分じゃないんだ。そしてだからこそ今までそれをやってきた。なのにデジャブが止まらない。挫折もんだよ。泣きたくなる。だから根性なくて悪いけどよ。俺は抜けるぜ。人生は短い。エンディングが来る前に選択肢の総当たりをやらせてくれ。この一本道、絶対どこかに別ルートがあるはずだ。俺はそれを探したい。結果がたとえ
Even if it leads you
バッ
straight
ドエ
off
ンド
a
一直
cliff?
線でも。
Well, I mean, you're a misprint, so I mean, if you just went off a cliff, you know, then I won't have to write you in my story anymore. If it's something new, then it's worth checking out
だ
either
ったら
way.
ここでお前と切れるってのもなかなか面白いと思うだろ。
I had gotten sick of that grin on his face long ago. It was the sort of expression that seemed to say he had Nary a care in the... Who says that? Fitting, really? That was how I knew that nothing I said would get through to him. Not like I knew what he was going on about in the first place, really. But one thing was for certain, Shiro's genre, or whatever, was about to diverge completely from my own. Haunt you? You're a misprint. Why should I haunt a misprint? So I was prepared for what came next. I'm ODing on this guy calling him a misprint. Fist fights normally can't go too far. After all, you'd be using your actual hands and feet as weapons. If they got fucked up, you were done. It only made sense to call it a draw when you ran out of ammo, so to speak. But Shiro and I were a little too stupid to let something like that stop us. You couldn't even call it a fight. We were both just trying to obliterate each other, plain and simple. There was enough blood pouring down my face to make it seem like I was viewing the world through a red veil. We smacked each other around so much that our hands themselves broke. We even had bones poking out of our but we just kept at it. My eardrums had shattered long ago. I was lost in a world of noise and violence. What the hell is going on, dude? What? Yo, what the hell? My shoulder had dislocated itself. My chin had split into... Oh, God, what the hell? What if my ribs were bent and broken, piercing furious internal organs for good measure? Oh, dude, this is getting graphic. Oh, my gosh. Oh, this went... Yo, what? This went hella bloody and with no warning at all. Here I was hacking up blood like it was going out of style, but Shiro seemed to be having the time of his life. I couldn't focus on anything but the way he exploded with laughter. Why did it end up like this? Why did he need to take it this far? Dude, what? This is not even necessary. Oh, well, I mean, life is boring. We have to put some spice in there or whatever, and now you're just beating the living crap out of each other to the point where you guys aren't even recognizable because you're so covered in blood. That's so unnecessary. I couldn't remember what he said after that, no matter how hard I tried. All I knew was that we continued brutalizing each other until our bodies ceased to function. It wasn't a matter of one of us deciding to surrender or passing out or whatever. We just quite literally ran out of batteries. We had both taken too much abuse to keep our bodies going with sheer willpower alone. It was no laughing matter. Our battered bodies were just lying there on the rooftop, drowning in a pool of our own blood. We probably would have died if no one had found us, but what did Shiro say? Dude, this is absolutely unnecessary. That sure was fun, huh? Seriously, how the fuck could he act like that? Like, this sentence this sounds really weird. Listen to me, dumbass. Dude, ain't nobody going after nobody. You guys are like dead or near dead. Don't act like you've triumphed over me. Like you've gone on to the next level or whatever. Me come at you? Give me a fucking break. You're the one who needs to crawl out of the gutter and come at me, shithead. Wow. Alright.